This week, meet Athena, who is clingy, well-mannered, and smart. Rocky is a happy dog, all bark but no bite, and has special needs. Lou is a good sleeper, is housebroken, and is easy going. Ashley talks outdoor animals. Should there be such an animal? We also have cute kitties. It's Pick Your Next Pet at the ACAPL.
Miss Athena here was, what was her name originally? Oh, it was originally Eve. When we adopted her out, she was originally a stray, but she came to us, and then she was adopted out. I believe it was either by the person that found her, or I know she was turned around and adopted out very quickly. And that woman took really good care of her, trained her really well. I know that she was like a farm person, so she was around a lot of other animals a lot, went everywhere with her. But that woman's life unfortunately changed, and she had to move back in with her parents. She did take Athena with her, but Athena did not get along with the other dog in the home. The other dog in the home was a huge, like 115-pound Roddy and something mix, and they got into a very serious fight. She had to be taken to the vet right away to get stitches. So it just didn't work out for that woman anymore to have her in that home, so she did end up coming back to us. So she was on the mend for a while. She, like I said, had to get some stitches and get that all healed up. She seems to be doing great now. She was really good for volunteers. We had a whole week where we had volunteers all week trying to give all the dogs baths. Some got multiple throughout the week, and she did really, really good for that. She's a really good dog, really, really smart. I know the previous owner said she was like fully off-leash trained, like she never had to leash her. But we do here for safety reasons, But that could be something you could work towards with her in a home. Other dogs, I would say she is questionable about now. I remember when she was here before, we were already like not sure how she'd feel about other dogs. And the woman said that while she had her, there were some dogs she'd get along with and some that she wouldn't. And now clearly she was in a very serious fight with one. So you'd always want to take any dog-to-dog introductions nice and slowly. I think I would prefer her to go to a home with no other dogs first. And then once she's settled in and comfortable, it's something you could work towards in the future, having another dog or having dog friends.
After a while, visit somebody that has a dog?
Yeah, exactly.
Not right away, though.
Yeah, you'd want to take it. You'd want to take it nice and slow.
I remember the one instance where you told somebody, "Don't take them right away to someplace else," and
you saw them that weekend at an event.
Yeah.
And okay.
They took them right to somebody else's house.
Take them right to Pet Supplies Plus and start doing stuff, and it's that's not good for them to have too many changes at once. But she's very sweet, very smart, like I said. She's very clingy. I will say, I know that like once she's like your dog, she can be just a little bit protective and hesitant of new people, but she can learn to be friends with everybody, so it just takes a little more time. But definitely if you're looking for a buddy that just would want to be with you all the time, I think she's a good balance. She's young enough. I don't know her exact age, it's probably about 3 or 4. Young enough that she can keep up with you if you're a really highly adventurous person, you like to do a lot of walking, hiking, whatever it is. But I also think she's a big old cuddle bug, and in the winter, like right now, she would love to just curl up and watch movies with you too. Children, I would also be hesitant about, simply because she does tend to be more reserved with new people. But again, it's something that you could work towards if there were no young children in your home already. And if you want to know more about her, I do believe we have more about her in her file from the previous owner. So just give us a call and ask us and see if she might be a good fit.
Okay, so ask about Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't she the goddess of something? I have to Google that.
Was that the brains or the goddess of love?
I'm thinking love.
You think
Which
it was
would be
love?
appropriate if this being Valentine's Day.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, honey. Come here. Rocky. This is one of my very special dogs. His name is Rocky. He's probably maybe about three to 5 right now. He is special to me because he has been in and out of this shelter as long as I've been working here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He's been in a few homes, and both those homes he was in for a pretty long period of time, so it's not like he's been here that whole time. And both times, I know the first time he was returned, I believe it was that the gentleman got a new job, and so Rocky was like just crated and home alone more. We tried to explain that while he may be in a crate at your home for 8 to 12 hours, he is in his kennel here for 23 hours a day. Unless we get any volunteers or it's a nicer day, they can stay out longer, things like that.
Which so isn't today.
Right, not today, not all winter. It's been a horrible winter for this. But yeah, and especially now with most of our kennels are divided, I mean, he's in a 3x3 space. Like, that's it. So we tried to explain that, but, you know, it just wasn't working out for him anymore to have a dog. So he ended up back here. And then he was adopted out and was gone for, I believe, about 5 months before, same thing, her life kind of changed. She couldn't take him anymore. He's very, let me tell you, this dog has changed a lot. You'll notice his appearance. He doesn't look to be in his best shape. He's missing quite a lot of fur on his back and even like up here on his nosy. His back legs and his tail are pretty much completely hairless. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but when he was first here, when he was young, he was a pretty energetic, crazy, big bully, you know, like big dog. So I understood kind of why people were a little nervous about adopting him, because when you took him out for a walk or played with him or anything, he was a lot. Now he's not. Now he's very chill. He loves love. He's, I mean, even right now, he's not, you know, yanking me around on the leash or anything. He's content to just, hi, yes, a good boy, to just kind of hang out. I do think that once he starts feeling better, some of that energy may come back, but part of it's just growing out of the puppy phase, you know, like when I first met him, he would have been about a year old. That's still a puppy in dog age. People think that they should be settled by the time they're full grown, and that's just not true. So now I do feel he's fully grown. He's kind of calmed down a little bit. The reason for his appearance, we got very nervous because when he was brought, what did you hear? When he was brought back from his most recent adopter, that was when we noticed the really dramatic difference in his appearance. He was adopted out, this happy, healthy, thick, you know, beautiful coat, all that, looking good, and came back looking just horrible. So we were really nervous, but the patterning of his hair loss, and he didn't have fleas or ticks or anything like that. We got him in for blood work right away, and he does have hypothyroidism. And now I know that sounds scary. We mentioned in his little preview that he has special needs, but it is actually one of the most common canine hormonal issues. I have a little pamphlet on it right here. I'm going to read a little bit from. And this is in his file, so if anyone is interested in meeting him and wanting more information on that, obviously you can do a quick Google, but this is directly from the vet that we took him to. So it says hypothyroidism is the most common canine hormonal disorder. It is easily managed with a simple, affordable, and effective medication that increases your dog's thyroid levels to normal and improves other signs of the disease, such as metabolism and energy. So it says the most common symptoms, so these are things how we knew something was going on. Weight gain without an increase in appetite, lethargy, sensitivity to cold, hair loss and excessive shedding, recurring skin or ear infections, which the ear infection thing has definitely been a thing for him pretty much since he got here. I do remember that he had multiple rounds of ear infections.
Was that beginning when you first met him?
Yeah, like that's from his first time here. Oh yeah, he's probably had it pretty much since he became an adult dog. And so hypothyroidism is when they don't get enough of their thyroid hormones. So all you have to do is help them increase their metabolism and increase that production, and they pretty much go back to normal. He takes one little pill once a day with his dinner. He eats it right up, no problem. I hide it in his wet food. And I've already definitely seen some improvements with him. He is due for a recheck. I think he's just an extremely sweet dog, very observant, very well behaved. Previously, we didn't think he'd be good with other dogs. For the most part right now, he mostly just ignores them, so I still think he'd rather live alone. But again, like I say, with a lot of dogs here, there may be potential for that in the future once they're away from here, completely settled, and in a home that they are loved and they can trust the owners. But because of his condition and everything, I'd really like to see him get out of here, maybe even as a foster, if someone out there might not be 100% committed, but would like to see him start to feel better. Being in this environment, we can give him the meds and he will get better, but he won't reach his full potential of a dog here just because of the stress level. He can't, fully rest and recover. So, like I said, a foster or an adopter, or maybe a foster to adopt situation, so we can make sure his hormone levels are where they should be based on how long he's been on his meds. They may want to adjust the dosage or something like that, but it is something he'll have to be on for the rest of his life. But he doesn't really even seem affected by it. Like I said, he's just a little lower energy than he used to be. His hair would grow back once he got those hormone levels back to the right place, and you probably wouldn't even know. We have had one other dog in the time that I've been here be in the same situation, and the people that took her on have brought her back for visits, and she is just doing absolutely phenomenal. So again, it's not life-threatening at all, as long as you get that little, it's like the tiniest pill you've ever seen in him once a day. So I really, really hope someone out there will see him and just want to come meet him and love him, because he's a very, very good boy. And like I said, the fact that he's been in and out of here since I've been here just breaks my heart. He won't eat the treats I brought out, but he wants to eat the ice.
Well, it's 20 degrees, so you would think this wouldn't be the optimal time to be eating snow, but
I'll have to go get him. We have some frozen, I think it's like pumpkin and yogurt treats in the freezer right now. I'll have to grab him a few and see what he thinks of those. He's a little bit of a picky eater, but apparently he'll eat ice. Alright, so Lou here is one of our oldest dogs at the shelter. He's 11 years old. So he came in as a stray. Good Samaritan brought him in, said they found him roaming around on Route 20 by Walmart. And a previous owner, so not his most recent, but his second most recent, came forward and told us his story. She had known him since he was very young, and so she was able to give us a ton of information about him. She was not able to take him back because of her living situation. His most recent owner, so the person who he actually got loose from, did reach out and confirm that this is her dog, but she was basically just not interested in taking him back, which doesn't make any sense to me, because he is such a good dog that he's not a burden to have around the house, if you know what I mean. He's not a lot of work. He's a senior. He doesn't need a lot of exercise. Her biggest reason was just that when he went out to go potty, he would run off, and she didn't want to deal with that anymore. She was too busy, too much going on in her life, whatever. But she also gave us information about him, and it matched what the woman before her had said. So we do know quite a bit about him. They said he is good with all other animals, so other cats and dogs, and also good around children. He is super housebroken. He only had accidents here so far when he's been a little sick, like he had an upset tummy. But other than that, he's very good. I will say he's a little bit of a picky eater. He really will only eat mostly wet food. I can sneak in some kibble, if it's really well mixed in, small kibble pieces, but he really is mostly a wet food kind of dog. So I don't know if at the home he was most recent, maybe he was only fed just table scraps and whatever, because they didn't care. But yeah, he's mostly a wet food dog. Very quiet, hardly ever hear him bark, except for when it's his turn to go outside. He knows, and he obviously has to go potty, so he gets a little excited for that. I will say he is still pretty strong on leash, and because we know that he is a runner, I would recommend either a fenced-in yard or just be prepared to have a really well-fitting collar or harness and have a long runner out for him. I do think that's all you would need to keep him contained. I have a feeling they were just letting him loose in the yard and expecting him to come back, and that wasn't the case. But yeah, he's an older guy. He's so well behaved here, so I'd really like to see him get adopted quickly. He actually was fixed already when he got here, so that's much quicker and easier for us. He was able to get his vaccines all done really quickly, and he's ready to go. I know he was a bit of a baby for the vaccines, a little bit of a scaredy cat, didn't want to be poked. but not mean at all about it, just scared. So it's probably just been a while since he's seen the vet, if ever, in his life. But he's a really, really good boy. He gets excited to meet new people. He's really good at, if he's hanging out with us in the office, he just pops a squat. I do know that he very much prefers carpet. So if your house is like majority wood, he may have some trouble adjusting. But he's done okay here. When he first got here, he did not want to leave the rug up front in the office. But then over time, he's pretty good on the concrete floors of the kennel to be moved around. But for the most part, he really prefers soft carpet, or you might have to lay out rugs or blankets to get him to move around your house. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, he's a happy, healthy, bigger boy. And I really think he'd fit in well in most homes. And I really would like a really good retirement home for him.
Welcome to Ask Ashley. She is Ashley and I am not. I'm Bob. And if you're wondering why our show is a little funky today with the dogs, is because the usual play area is frozen over and dangerous. And for the couple of years we've done this program, we've been very lucky on the weather until this year. And now we have to do kind of makeshift and work around this very busy place. Come here a little earlier to shoot and different things. So if you see that and wonder what's going on, it's the weather.
It's the same with some days we can do dog alley and some days we can't. It totally depends where they're at with cleaning, what else is going on today. What day of the week we film is always different depending on my schedule. So please bear with us. We'll always try to get you guys the content that you want.
So we probably won't be doing Dog Alley today?
Probably not, no.
So, but if anybody has watched this, Dog Alley doesn't change a whole lot. The faces changed a little bit, but you get the idea.
Not too much lately. Our adoptions have been very, very slow. So
really?
Yeah. If we're genuinely doing this every 2 weeks, you'd maybe only see a couple new dogs on AF at a time.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's normal for this time of year. It's just extra bad right now
because you got so many. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but one thing we want to talk about because of the cold is if the idea that dogs in the wintertime, that they are not, you cannot leave most dogs out at night during the winter.
Correct.
Dog houses are not a good idea. I mean, people get the idea, well, dogs years ago sat laid out in the cold and they were okay, and so.
Yeah, we were discussing before we started rolling here how like outdoor dogs in general used to be more of a thing, and now they're just not anymore. I think they still are for certain, like, I know on farms, working breeds, they usually have a stall in their barn or whatever, but they spend most of the night outside because they're doing a job. They're guarding a flock or a herd. But in today's world, if you have a dog that's been living in your home for a year or two and that's what they're accustomed to, you absolutely cannot just all of a sudden make them an outdoor dog or toss them out in the woods and expect them to survive. I mean, I don't know if there's people out there that genuinely think that, but if there are, let me correct you now. They cannot. We've bred out a lot of their natural instincts, like instincts to hunt or something like that, are not really there. They do have prey drive, but at this point it's not really to eat, usually. It's just like a play thing. So if you dump your dog off in the woods expecting it to just be absolutely okay, that will not be a thing. I do think that sometimes people, especially take them like out South County in the country area, expecting, it'll just show up on a farm and somebody will keep it. Mm-hmm. No, those farmers call us or call the dog warden, and they end up here anyways. So you may as well.
Or they freeze to death, or they're attacked by wild. Yeah, there's lots of coyotes and stuff around these days.
They're hit on roads too, because they're on roads looking for your vehicle or someone else to rescue them, and they get hit instead because nobody's paying attention when they're driving anymore. So. Yeah,
but they're thinking they're coming back. I'll just keep walking until they come back to get me.
You never know.
It's really heart-wrenching.
Yeah, it is. It's really sad. So yeah, always keep that in mind. That if you have a dog you absolutely cannot keep, that dumping them off on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere is absolutely never the best option. We do our best. If you call us and you absolutely have to get rid of a dog, we do our best to work with people. We're not currently taking owner surrenders. But if it's extreme situations, or if there's any way we can assist, if it's, you know, you just need food, we have our pet pantry. If it's an issue with your landlord, we can call and discuss with your landlord some options. If we say, hey, they have reached out to us, they're trying, can you give them another month, you know, something like that. We can confirm that you're actively trying to rehome the animals. But yeah, always, you know, give us a call, talk to us, see if you can get someone else to foster for a few weeks and then come back to us or something like that. On that note, I guess since I said the word foster, I'll bring up that I think a really big push coming up in the next few months, for me at least, would be fosters. So we have a lot of good fosters. We've had a lot of good fosters in the past. One of our biggest problems is that people decide to foster fail and then they don't foster anymore because now they have a new dog to continue working with and assimilate into their home. But I think a huge thing that would help us right now would be really good fosters. Please remember that when you're fostering a dog or a cat through us, we provide all of their medical care. We will give you food, we will give you extra blankets and beds and crates and absolutely anything you need. They'll still come here for all their vaccine updates that they need. If there does need to be any vet care or anything that does need to go like to a vet, we pay for that. We are just so absolutely full right now that we're at the point that when one singular stray comes in, we are scrambling to find a spot for this dog that's going to be safe for them. So if you have any questions at all, our last video we interviewed Melinda, so she's also
the volunteer coordinator.
Yeah, she's also assisting, taking over the foster coordinating. Once you're an established foster, you might work with me or work with medical, depending on which animal you have. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I talked about Rocky. I think, you know, he's an excellent foster candidate because we'd like to get his medical side under control, but I'd really like for him to not be here while we do that. So if you have any questions about fostering, you can contact me or Melinda. It's one of those, again, extremely rewarding situations and hard. You know, you do come to be attached to the animals that you're fostering, but to then help them find their forever home, and especially when they're in a foster, you can take them out to Home Depot, to Lowe's, to Pet Supplies, and get them the publicity that they need that we don't have time for here anymore. Start working on training, on crate training, housebreaking. All those things make a dog so much more adoptable. You wouldn't believe it. So.
Is there a timeline? Like after so many months, you gotta do something, or?
Not particularly. We have some fosters. Some do just like weekend stays, which are great. Again, you still get a feeling for how that dog feels about being in a home. Are they kind of already housebroken, or do they need work? How do they get along with, if you have other animals, how did they do with that? Visitors, things like that. Some people prefer short-term fosters, like say a mom with kittens. Mom with kittens, you kind of have a guaranteed, you know, you don't have to foster anymore once the kittens are big enough. The kittens come back, mom comes back, and you're clear. If it's just an adult dog who's available for adoption but doesn't have any interest here, it could be long, but it's totally up to you. If you say, hey, I'd like to do 2 weeks fostering this dog because then your life gets busy again and you have a kid that's in sports or something like that, that's absolutely fine. We are extremely flexible. We just want to see these dogs out of here, learn a little bit more about them.
Take the dog to the game if it's outside.
Absolutely, if you can. Yeah.
I used to do
all kinds of fun stuff. My mom did too. My mom used to bring our dog to my games and then my brother's games. So, yeah, anything like that is extremely helpful. Again, any questions, shoot us an email.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. In here, we have Liv and Maddie. They are owner surrenders. I believe it was just an accidental litter that their cat had, and these were just 2 kittens they couldn't rehome. So they're about, I believe, like 6 months old, 7 months old. So
they know what causes that now.
Yeah, right. We signed them up for the low-cost spay and neuter after that.
Okay.
But yeah, super, super sweet cats. You can see here that I believe this is Liv. Is a little bit more friendly than Maddie. She's still kind of hiding in the back watching. They definitely love each other. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're a bonded pair and they have to go home together, but they definitely would really enjoy it. Clearly, you know, they're kittens, they're from the same litter, they've lived together all their lives so far. So if you're open to 2, they would be a really good option because they already know and love each other. they're sweet little babies. They were definitely very scared and a little hissy when they first got here. Liv is giving me lots of love bites. No. Come here.
Aww.
She's purring up a storm right now too, so she's gonna act all wiggly and crazy, but she's loving it. Very, very sweet kitties. And I just hope they get out of here soon. I will say they are not fixed yet. They're on the schedule, but not quite yet. They could still go home as long as you don't have any unfixed male cats in your home. Excuse me. And then you would just bring them back the day that they get fixed. And then they'll have everything taken care of. But other than that, they are ready to go. They're super sweet. They're super healthy. No concerns. And I do think once they're in a whole home, that Maddie will come out of her shell much more. Oh, you're such a little stinker. They definitely have that still kitten energy for sure. Like the way she's doing the love bites, and when they play with each other, it's very like pouncy and just really cute and playful. Hello, beautiful.
Nice color there.
Oh, you gonna go eat?
Oh yeah, this is what we want to see is your butt.
Come here. You can come down here and eat. Come here.
Yeah.
Come on, come get it. Whew, big girl. Okay, here we go. Alright, so this little sweetie is Stormy. She is a female. Let me see what we put her age at. Oh, just about a year. So she's just about a year old. Remember that our ages are always estimates. We based it on teeth. Cats are even harder. That sometimes they really don't want you looking in their mouths, stuff like that. I remember she was very, very scared when she first got here. She has not been here long, but it took a couple weeks for her to really start like wanting attention. At first, she was just completely like hiding in the back of her kennel, not interested in anything. Would kind of make a mess overnight, stuff like that. And then slowly, she started keeping it a little cleaner, keeping a little calmer. And then you'd come to visit her, and she'd be actually like sitting at the door, but still wouldn't let you really touch her or pet her. Come here. And now you can see, I mean, she's very, very friendly. I have a special love for gray cats. I don't know what it is. I've never had a gray cat. Well, I take that back. I had one gray cat that was an indoor-outdoor when I was younger, and he was very sweet. I don't know. They're just so beautiful to me. Like, there's something about them, especially if they have really, either like she's got the green or orange eyes. Like, they just stand out so much against a gray cat.
Be nice to have a couch that color.
Yeah, right? Then she'd blend right in. You would never see her fur.
That's right.
Yeah, I like her. I like her personality. She's not super, like, playful, crazy, anything like that. I really think she'll be a big cuddle bug. She'll just want to snuggle up with you, lay around the house, stuff like that. Hi, honey. I know that she came from a situation with other cats, so likely good with other cats as well. I'm not sure about dogs. We never really know with the kitties. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Does that feel good? Oh, yeah. I don't know. She's just special to me, guys. So someone come snatch her up. She's too good. She's too good.
Can you give a little update? The last time it was like we have hardly any kitties. So what is it?
Oh, yeah. So the last time we talked, we had a very empty living room. I think we had, maybe like 8 total cats in here. Our numbers are going up. We've had a few like bigger owner surrenders recently, even just a few with like a few cats at a time. It adds up pretty quickly. So keep in mind that if we don't have one that matches your perfect, what you're looking for right now, like just within a couple weeks, we will have more available. Kitten season is coming. We have a couple pregnant cats right now. I'm not sure how far along they are, where we're at with fosters, but I know, that's a thing that's coming. It will happen again.
But with it comes spring, so.
Right. Please.
So it's not
We're ready for spring. I'm ready for kitten season because I'm ready for spring. And I did want to say that I think that filming with Bob and I is good luck because we filmed with Sassy last time, correct? She was our longest resident. She literally got adopted the next day.
All right.
The next day. And so far, they called and said she's doing good. She's still like a little hesitant, but she's, doing better in a big home, just like we thought she would. So very happy for Sassy. Thank you all for watching as you do, and let's get some more animals out of here.
walking a dog and I'm never blue. I'm a walking the dog. I ain't thinking about you. Don't need no one to tie me down. I'm a walking the dog and a painting the town. Such an easy life I never knew until the day